roads and train lines into hazards. It's the fifth major flooding event to hit the U.S. in July, intensifying calls for infrastructure upgrades as climate change-induced extreme weather becomes the new reality. I'm standing over the Lampasas River, where the water level is nearing major flood stage. A massive 27-foot wall of water is surging toward this bridge, slamming into the support pillars with incredible force. Local authorities have just evacuated the area as the situation becomes increasingly hazardous. Double-digit rainfall upstream on already saturated ground has caused the Lampasas River to swell far beyond normal. This part of the Texas Hill Country is once again facing a serious flooding emergency. RV parks along the riverbanks are inundated, and evacuations are underway. Firefighters are working tirelessly in these dangerous conditions. On the bridge, you can see wave after wave crashing over the edge, carrying debris collected from overnight flash floods, branches, logs, trash, anything the floodwaters can grab. It's a dire scene. The river is now more than 27 feet above its usual level. The current is violently sweeping debris into the bridge, sounding like thunder with every impact. And the water keeps rising. Every minute counts. One observer points to a bridge pillar. That's the support. It's getting swept between the gaps. The current is surging through, pushing even massive objects with terrifying ease. Longtime locals are stunned. One man says, "I've watched this river for years. I've never seen anything like this." When asked about the storm-chasing vehicle known as the Dominator, a responder notes it's currently undergoing repairs. Still, experienced teams are on the ground, reporting live and monitoring the threat. The water now appears dangerously close to overtopping the bridge. The force is relentless, pounding from beneath, tearing through everything in its path. Residents along the Lampasas River can do little but wait and hope the worst will soon pass.
Oh yeah.
Please subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates on natural disasters around the world as quickly as possible. Wishing you a great new day.
Yeah, they are getting out over there.
Are they actually doing a rescue?
Looks like they are.
Torrential rain and flash, flooding slam. New York and New Jersey, homes submerged, transit paralyzed, recovery underway. New York and New Jersey were brought to a standstill this weekend as torrential rain and sudden flash flooding unleashed chaos across both states. The historic downpours inundated roadways, subway systems, and homes, forcing emergency declarations and a large-scale mobilization of state and city resources. According to the National Weather Service, some areas received more than 7 inches, 18 centimeters of rain in less than 12 hours, surpassing monthly averages in a single day. The intense rainfall overwhelmed drainage systems, turning city streets into rivers and submerging vehicles underwater. In New York City, basement apartments were the first to flood, displacing hundreds of residents. The boroughs of Brooklyn and Queens were hit especially hard, with videos circulating online showing residents wading through waist-deep water. At least 2 fatalities were reported in Queens, including an elderly woman trapped in a basement unit.
Steer towards the right so we get behind that
the city
Volvo,
of Hoboken declared a state of emergency
And just kind of clear
as
the
its
street.
aging sewage system failed to cope with the volume of water. Over 600 homes were damaged, and dozens of small businesses in downtown areas suffered significant losses. This is a climate emergency. Hoboken cannot withstand these kinds of floods every year. We need federal support to rebuild with resilience. Transit systems ground to a halt. New York's MTA suspended multiple subway lines for hours due to waterlogged tracks, stranding thousands of commuters during the morning rush. Port Authority bus terminal was briefly closed due to flooding in the lower levels. New York Governor Kathy Hochul called the event the worst flash flooding the state has seen in recent years. She activated the National Guard and allocated emergency funding to the most impacted boroughs. Over 250 personnel were deployed for rescue operations and debris removal. Across both states, more than 20,000 power outages were recorded, primarily due to downed power lines and submerged transformers. Utility crews have been working around the clock, with 75% of services restored as of Monday morning. Emergency shelters were opened in both states to house displaced families.
Why
the
did you
American
try
Red
it?
Cross, in collaboration with local governments, is currently operating 12 temporary shelters, providing meals, blankets, and clean water. Volunteers are conducting door-to-door assessments in the hardest-hit communities. Climate scientists warn that such extreme weather events are becoming more frequent due to warming atmospheric conditions. Dr. Laura Benson from the Climate Impact Research Center noted, "This isn't just a freak storm, it's part of a rising trend. Urban areas like New York and New Jersey need to redesign their infrastructure to survive the next decade." In response, both state governments have pledged to accelerate flood resilience projects. New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced plans to fast-track the $2.7 billion stormwater resiliency program, which includes upgrading pumps, expanding green infrastructure, and improving early warning systems. As the skies clear and waters begin to recede, the damage assessment is only beginning. Preliminary estimates suggest economic losses exceeding $250 million, with insurance claims expected to surge. Despite the devastation, acts of solidarity emerged. In many neighborhoods, residents formed cleanup crews, helped clear blocked drains, and distributed food to stranded neighbors. As one Brooklyn resident said, "The water came fast, but so did the help."
Missing, the region is now facing another round of severe weather. As if echoing the trauma of that tragic weekend, torrential rains return. In Kempner, the Lampasas River rose explosively, from just 1.75 feet to 32. Sudden surges were driven by intense rainfall, with localized rates reaching up to 3 inches per hour in some areas. Overall rainfall accumulations exceeded resources and compounding the risk for additional flash flooding across the region. In response to the rapidly rising waters and hazardous conditions, the river, east of Highway 16 and north of Wallace Street and Highway 90. Particular attention was paid to homes already damaged waters on Sunday. Emergency alerts warned residents of increasing water levels along the Guadalupe River, which had surged an extraordinary 26. These new flooding conditions have severely disrupted ongoing search and rescue efforts. More than 160 individuals remain unaccounted for following the suggest the river could again rise above flood stage, threatening key infrastructure such as the Highway 39 bridge.
County Road 4330.
Extends beyond Kerr and San Saba counties. Surrounding counties including Lampasas, Schleicher, Menard, Highway 190, which spans the Lampasas River at Kempner, was closely monitored, impact, and the safety of motorists. The National Weather Service issued flash flood warnings and floodwaters, persistent, slow-moving storm cells that delivered heavy and repeated rainfall. A very weaker weather system contributed to the erratic atmospheric conditions, fueling ongoing thunderstorm development and further rainfall. Is critically high due to the July 4th storms, greatly reducing the ground's ability to absorb additional rain, which is the Guadalupe expected to rise rapidly and possibly exceed floods, have taken decisive action to mitigate risk and protect residents. The Kempner Volunteer Fire Department critical need for residents to avoid flood-prone areas. In Bosque County, a third rescue at that specific location in just 1 month. Meanwhile, in Sonora,
I'm getting in my little cabin.
confirmed that multiple rescues had been carried out across several affected counties. State and local agencies continue coordinating response efforts focused on safeguarding residents face. Search and rescue operations are expected to resume as soon as river levels recede. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay aware.